I'm going to call the meeting of the Essex Junction City Council to order for Wednesday, March 11th. Any agenda additions or changes, Regina?
None from me.
Council?
None.
Okay, seeing none. Don't need to approve the agenda. Public to be heard? Nobody in the room. Anybody online? Not seeing any hands raised, so just triple checking here. All right. So we will open the public hearing on the charter change amendments.
So we've got the presentation. I will just go quick through this. Okay. So, second charter change amendment public hearing. You have to have two when you do charter change amendments. These charter change amendments are from the governance committee's work. That committee looked at all things governance since the village charter mimics what the city charter was. So that whole committee's final report is linked there. And there's a lot of interesting information in there, including data from other communities. First article, charter change question that will be on the ballot is, should the president of the council be paid 25% more than the base pay for the council members? And this question is on to justify the extra amount of work that the president does. Second question is to look at taking the council stipend question and amount each year out of the hands of the council when they're doing the budget every year, and instead tie it to the CPI. And so that would adjust annually on July 1 of each year if this change passes. Third question from the governance committee is a question to add a statement to the charter that will have this level of governance review done at least once every 12 years into the future. So those are those three questions. We have talked about them quite a bit up to this point, but that's it.
Okay. And we'll open it up to public comment. So I can figure out how to use my own computer. Anybody who would like to comment, can you raise your hand if you're online? And if you're in the room, you can raise your hand. Okay, I don't see any hands, so I'm going to close the public hearing. And we'll move on to the resolution of appreciation for Brad Luck.
So, Brad has resigned from the city of Essex Junction after nearly 19 years of really excellent work and programming at EJRP. So we have got a resolution of appreciation for Brad. I don't know if anybody wants to read it from this paper version, or I sent the digital version.
Looking directly at, I'm happy to read it. You can read it.
Go ahead.
Go right ahead. If you
Yep, go
want to.
ahead.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
This is one of your last meetings potentially, so I just
Not potentially.
Not on the ballot, potentially.
there could always be a return. You never know.
You never know.
Just
Okay.
saying, just saying.
Sure.
Run again after they decide not to run.
I'll be happy to, I'll be happy to do that. Okay. Whereas Brad Luck has provided dedicated and exemplary service to the Essex Junction community as Recreation and Parks Director since 2007. And whereas Brad will conclude his service as Recreation and Parks Director on March 12th, 2026, after nearly 19 years of committed leadership to the village city of Essex Junction. And whereas throughout his tenure, Brad led the Essex Junction Recreation and Parks Department with care, professionalism, and a strong belief in the value of public recreation, overseeing approximately 30 full-time staff and more than 250 part-time and seasonal employees. And whereas under Brad's leadership, the department developed and sustained essential programs for families and residents, including a highly sought-after preschool, licensed after-school childcare, vacation camps, summer day camps serving Essex Junction, Essex Town, and Westford. And whereas Brad consistently supported staff in delivering meaningful recreation and educational opportunities for residents of all ages while encouraging creative programming and community events that strengthened connections and brought people together. And whereas Brad was a key contributor to the establishment of the City of Essex Junction, including serving as co-interim manager during this transition. And whereas Brad's lasting impact is evident throughout the community, particularly at Maple Street Park, which has become a beloved destination featuring 2 pools, playgrounds, courts, fields, and welcoming gathering spaces for residents of all ages. And whereas Brad has also played a significant role in improvements to the senior center, the dog park, community gardens, and other parks, including Cascade Park, which will soon receive updates reflecting his long-standing commitment to the community. And whereas Brad was instrumental in the development of Meet Me on Main as a community gathering that fostered connection and civic pride. And whereas Brad championed experiential learning opportunities for youth, including educational travel to Washington, D.C., enabling students to engage firsthand with the history and civic institutions they study in school. And whereas Brad provided valued leadership and representation to the city through his service leading the Recreation Advisory Committee and the Governance Committee, contributing to effective governance and community engagement. And whereas through Brad Luck's leadership, Essex Junction Recreation and Parks cultivated cherished community traditions, including Pumpkin Palooza and the holiday lights at Maple Street Park, creating moments of celebration that brought families together and strengthened community spirit. Be it resolved that the City Council, on behalf of the staff and citizens of the City of Essex Junction, hereby extends its most sincere appreciation to Brad Luck for his commitment and dedicated years of service to the residents of Essex Junction, and adopted this 11th day of March 2026 by the Essex Junction City Council.
Thanks, Elaine. Anybody else want to make any comments in addition to that
Amen.
laundry list? Yeah.
Amen. That was it. Thank you, Brad. You're not here right now, but thank you, Brad, for incredible service to our community.
It is one of the best examples of a Parks and Rec department from the services it provides. I've heard from other municipalities all over that look at our municipality and that department and admire it. And, look, I'm 55, but going over to Maple Street Park, I want to be 70. That park is amazing. I mean, that is the best park ever. I had to deal with splinters every time. So there's going to be generations of kids that are going to be able to look back at their childhood in this community, and because of those programs, those camps, that pre-education, that park, the events, they're going to be able to look back and say they had an amazing childhood and an amazing community.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Yeah.
Best of luck.
Yeah.
Brian, anything?
Thanks, Brad.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say, as the last sitting member here of the trustees when we did the separation, thank you in particular for that, because I can't imagine it was difficult dealing with all of us during that as we were working on hiring Regina and going through that separation. So thanks, Brad.
Yep.
Good luck on your next endeavors.
You'll be missed.
All right. 7A, discussion and consideration of the FY27 general fund operating and capital budgets.
Okay, Jess is on here as well if you've got any questions, but for the most part, once again, seen this a few times. Essentially what you've got in front of you is no change from what you saw on February 11th. There is a note here that we did mention at your last meeting that there was a capital plan adjustment based on the re-ranking of, or the ranking of a new project on a shared use path up on Main Street. So that adjustment is included. And essentially this is a $12,921,000, $469 budget. That is estimated tax rate increase of 4.1%, and approximately $118 for a $280,000 home. And again, just a note here at this point in time, what the preliminary utility rates are looking like, and the impact that that will have. So this memo includes what each of those budget amounts are, and we are recommending that you approve this budget to go on the ballot.
Questions, council?
Another successful budget process. Thanks, Regina.
Thank you. Thank you, Jess.
Thank you, Jess. Yes.
Thank you, Jess. Any questions from the public? Not seeing any hands.
So I will move that the city council approve the FY27 general fund operating and capital program budgets as presented.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That is unanimous, so that passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, 7B, discussion and consideration of the final informational hearing and annual meeting warning.
Okay, so, once again, we have discussed all of these items many times at this point. The order has been reordered based on direction from the last council meeting, so the budget comes first, then the public works facility. Let's see if there's anything else in this memo I want to specifically point out. I've got a note in here that the lead service water line does have two distinct deadlines for that project and what we're working for. Prior, we were talking about a deadline of 2037, but there's some nuance there, so that is included, and that has been adjusted in what will go out in the newsletter to the community as well. And I think that's about it. The warrant is included here in the packet. It warns the informational hearing on Monday, March 23rd, as well as the annual meeting itself, which is on April 14th, 2026, from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And after tonight, essentially, we move forward, make ballots, and get people ready to vote.
Okay. Council? Any public comment? Not seeing any.
I will move that the city council approve the warning as drafted.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, that's unanimous. Thank you, folks. All right, discussion and consideration of the fire department personnel regulations and associated edits to the full personnel regulations.
I will take this moment to recuse myself from this conversation as it stands to directly impact me.
Thank you.
Regina?
Okay, since becoming a city, we've been looking at all of our policies. And as you folks may remember, we looked at the full personnel regs maybe a year or so ago. Could even be 2 years. Time is flying right by. And we knew and flagged that we would have to circle back as we got clarity on fire department regs. So we've got here a set of regs for the fire department that clarifies that the fire department is really part-time staff, not volunteers. And this is pulled out separately just because it is a very unique department. And so it was easier to just set it up in a separate document and clarify what comes into play. So that's what you've got in front of you. Overall, this really keeps things status quo in terms of operation and how things work over there in the fire department. But really just clarifies based under Department of Labor rules how to properly designate these folks. So we also have, and this memo goes into a bit of detail about each of the different sections within the personnel regulations. We've also got the full set of regulations in front of you as well, because we've got to pull the fire department references out of that full document. And we've had just 2 minor things come up that we wanted to clarify in that full set of regulations that are in front of you. We've got Colleen here, HR Director, and the Chief, Fire Chief. If there's any further questions or anything you want us to go through in more detail.
Any questions, council?
I do not at this time.
Just quick, Chief, any issues on your, okay. All right, I will open it up to public comment. Not seeing anything online, do you? Okay. All right. You wanna?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, you're good.
Here we go. I'm going to move that the city council approve the Essex Junction Fire Department general rules and personnel regulations as presented, and approve the amended general rules and personnel regulations as presented.
You need a second?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
It's unanimous. That passes. Thank you, folks. Unanimous to the 4 that are here. All right, so the next topic is discussion and consideration of an executive, and it's discuss a personnel evaluation. So we're going to go into executive session. So we'll come back to that in a minute here. Can I get a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So, I'll second.
Sorry.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Council member comments and city manager report?
So with the Public Works facility, we will be hosting tours over there at the facility at 11 Jackson Street. We've got one scheduled for Wednesday, March 18th from 10 to 11, as well as Saturday, March 21st from 10 to 11. Don't need to register. We will be there and happy to greet all kinds of people and show you what it looks like. So hopefully folks come out for that. Then also starting Monday, the 16th, you all, the council, will be hosting a food drive here at 2 Lincoln. And that starts on the 16th and goes through the 30th. So if folks can stop in, that would be great.
We are raffling
Yes,
tickets.
we have a
Gift card, sorry.
Yes.
Raffling one around
Yeah,
now.
just raffle a ticket.
Whatever. Making things up as I go along.
Yes. We have Tractor Supply, new in the city, just opened its doors. And we have $25 gift cards that were sent to the city. It's not appropriate for city officials or staff to use that. And so we've got quite a few to raffle off. So if folks bring in food, you can enter to get a raffle to Tractor Supply. We are doing that in the first week from March 16th to the 20th, I think is the date, because those cards expire on the 30th. So we want to be able to let you know so you can get your card to go over there in time.
Bye.
Yeah.
Anything else? Council? Okay. Who's got the motion?
Hold on. Yeah, it's in here somewhere. Sorry, there's a lot of bookmarks on this one.
Sorry, I could be helpful. I don't have the whole
I'm
thing.
clicking
It's okay.
away too.
All right, I've got it open.
There we
All
go.
right,
Good
sorry.
job.
Thank you.
Thank
I
you.
move that the city council enter into executive session to discuss a personnel evaluation pursuant to 1 VSA 313A3 to include the city council and city manager.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. We will not be returning, so you guys can go enjoy the rest of your evening.